Today I'm going to show you how to make a fabric slip, which is where you take a portion of a design and you put it on top of another piece here. So I'm going to cut out one of these squares and stick it off of this. So the first thing we need to do is take this piece out of the embroidery hoop, and then we are going to trim this down. So just cut here. So I have a little bit of an outline, about like 1/4 of an inch or so, around the embroidery I want to have attached to the other piece. All right, so I've cut my piece out, and then I am going to take my embroidery thread, make sure it has a knot at the end here, and I need to do the running stitch around the outside of this fabric here, and I'm doing it on the front. This is the back, we're on the front. So I'm just going to do a little running stitch, and this will pull all of the fabric onto the back of this piece. So running stitch, maybe could have left a little more fabric on this side, but that's okay. All right, we've gone all the way around with our running stitch, and as you can see, I ended on the front again, and I haven't pulled it tight yet. It's nice and loose. Then I'm going to flip my piece over, hold it down, and just tug, so all of that running stitch pulls my fabric to the back of my piece, like so. There we go. So there's my piece that I want. And we might just need to kind of tuck this fabric down a little bit here first. So I'm just going to do some stitches that go across the shape on the back to hold this fabric back here nicely in place so it doesn't get in the way. Kind of just holds it all down so these pieces aren't going to stick out on the front. All right, there we go. So there's my little square that I want to attach here. So I will put my square where I want it. Say I want this right here. I'm going to hold it in place. Now I'm just going to do short little stab stitches around the outside edge of my embroidery here. So catch a little bit of the embroidery and go back down. Or you can come up just right outside the embroidery and then catch a little bit of it as we stitch it on down. And as you can see, some of my fabric sticking out here, so I'm just going to smush that under with my needle so it's tucked in the back of my embroidery, and we'll go again. Come on up right outside, and I'm going to smush this in a little more. So I'm going to use the eye of my needle because it's a little duller. There we go, and tack that on down. Now I'm kind of using a reddish color so you can see this really well, but if you don't want this seen, I would recommend using a color that is close to the color of the embroidery you are tacking down here. So again, come on up, make our short little tacking stitch. Come on up, little tacking stitch as we go all the way around our shape, just to hold it in place here. And this is a really great way to add extra depth to a piece, so this fabric slip that I am putting on the front here is going to stick up a little higher than the other squares that I have on here. Almost all the way around here. A few more stitches on this side. And there is our fabric slip. So you can see it sits much higher on the fabric, adds some extra depth to this piece, and allows me to put a section of embroidery on top of some other sections here where it might be harder to stitch.